Welcome to Anti-Woke and Autistic. Just because a business made money off of you, just because you paid them money, doesn't mean that their product or service won't work. Here is what fat activist Amanda Martinez Beck says. Diet culture does not exist to make you happy or healthy. It exists to make someone else money. And then the hashtag, follow the money. Now, I want to concentrate on what she says here. It exists to make someone else money. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. I have made money off of people, if you want to put it that way, but that doesn't mean I didn't provide a stellar service to them. Do you go to a hairstylist, a tattoo artist, a manicurist? You pay them money. They make money off of you. Does that mean that the product and the service that they provided you was inferior? Does it mean that their product or service wasn't fantastic? So right off the bat, Amanda's reasoning is very poor. Her argument is very feeble. Diet culture does not exist to make you happy or healthy. Who cares why it exists? If somebody comes across a diet plan, a personal trainer, a gym, a health club, or some kind of service that helps them lose weight in a healthy way, in a sustainable way, helps them stick to it, some kind of weight loss coaching, exercise coaching, a coach, for instance, they're paying a coach and they're learning from that coach how to change their lifestyle, how to adhere to a weight loss program, a healthier lifestyle, a healthier eating plan, and they lose, let's say, 95 pounds, and they feel great, they can move better, they've eliminated their pain, they sleep better, all sorts of benefits. Yeah, that other person, that coach made money off of them, but they got a great service in return. So Amanda here is a quitter. She belongs to a quitter's cult known as fat acceptance. And the caption that goes with this is as follows. If you partner with someone who makes promises and instead of following through, just keeps taking your money, that's not a healthy relationship. Diet culture does not exist to make you happy or healthy. It exists to make someone else a lot of money. And 95% of the time, its promises are not achievable. It's not you, it's diet culture. Wrong, it's you. I want to know if there exists just one person who ate less, improved the type of food they ate healthier foods, less ultra-processed foods, a near elimination of ultra-processed foods, more healthy foods, but the overall caloric intake was less. So they created a caloric deficit. They also created a caloric deficit by increasing their exercise. They took up strength training and cardio. So they're creating this caloric deficit such that after several months, after 6 months, after 12 months, they've lost a lot of weight and they continued with the caloric deficit. They're eating, let's say 1,800 to 2,100 calories a day. And they continue eating the 1,800 to 2,100 calories a day. They've lost 120 pounds. And let's say they're at their goal weight. Let's say this is a woman and she's reached her goal weight of, let's say, 135 or 140 pounds, depending on her height. And she suddenly, inexplicably, starts gaining the weight back. She's continuing on, she's doing the exact same thing that caused her to lose 120 pounds. Nothing's changed. But for some reason, the weight is gradually creeping back on so that another 12 months later, she's the same weight she was before she started the weight loss journey, the weight loss program. I want to know if there's a woman out there who's had that experience, and if so, who is she? I want to know if there's anybody out there who gained all the weight back while staying adhered to the program that lost the weight in the first place. I'll tell you something. There's nobody like that. Nobody, nobody, nobody. When somebody gains all the weight back, they quit what they were doing that caused the weight loss in the first place. Instead of sticking to that 2,000 or 1,900 calories a day, they went back up to 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day. They stopped going to the gym. They stopped swimming. They stopped doing their exercise. They stopped doing their power walks or their high intensity interval training. They stopped taking their boot camp classes. They stopped lifting weights. They returned to eating tons of ultra processed foods every day. And that's why the weight came back. Hello? 2 plus 2. Yet these fat acceptance people like Amanda, they can't grasp such a simple concept. You're going to gain the weight back if you cease adhering to the program or the lifestyle change that made you lose the weight. This has nothing to do with diet culture. It has nothing to do with the diet. It has to do with you. There's no such thing as a diet that doesn't work. Now, I'm not talking about starvation diets. Those are not sustainable. You can't stick to them. I'm not talking about crazy diets like drinking only vegetable juice or eating only soup or cutting out major food groups or completely giving up your favorite foods. I'm not talking about something like that. I'm not talking about something where you only eat on the weekends or you don't eat on the weekends, but you eat Monday through Friday, or you only eat during the 4 hour window of the day, even though there are some people who have lost a lot of weight with intermittent fasting and they've kept it off. But in general, come on, very few people could stick to a program where you're only eating in a 4 hour window. I'm talking about eating healthier foods, eating less, cutting out nearly all ultra processed foods, junk foods, so that you're creating a calorie deficit, which is going to force your body to burn fat for energy, burn fat for sustenance. And then you're doing intense weight training and cardio. You're exercising in a way that optimizes post workout fat burn for recovery. So you have all of these things in place for burning off excess fat. And if you continue doing those things and you stick with it, you're not going to gain the weight back that you lost. It's simple. A first grader can understand this. But if you revert to your old lifestyle that made you fat in the first place, you're going to gain the weight back. What is wrong with people? How do you not understand such a simple concept? It's like, do you have the IQ of a doorknob? How do you not understand that if you return to your old habits, you're going to gain the weight back? I had a roommate in college. Her name was Nancy. She was on a diet, eating less to lose weight. I think she wanted to lose 20 pounds. I'm not sure. And we were talking about it, and I don't recall all the details, but she mentioned something about that she was going to return to her normal, meaning typical eating habits once she loses the weight. And I said, Nancy, if you do that, you'll gain the weight back. And she gave me this snarky look. And she said, No, I won't. No, I won't. You're real snarky. No, I won't. What a dumbbell. What an absolute dumbbell. So if 95% of the time the promises are not achievable, just what is Amanda referring to? Promises from who? You don't have to pay anybody anything to go on a portion controlled, healthier diet. Of course, you're paying the supermarket where you get the food from, or you're paying Amazon where you get the food from, but you're going to be paying them anyways. You've been paying them money anyways to sustain your heavy body weight. In fact, if you eat less and control your portions, you'll be giving supermarkets, you'll be giving the food industry less money, less, because you're buying enough food now for one person instead of 3 or 4. So you're actually going to be giving the company less money. What's wrong with these people? IQ of a doorknob. This has nothing to do with promises. There are diet programs or weight loss programs where they promise something, but they don't really promise. They just tell you you'll lose 8 inches off your waist, or you can lose up to 40 pounds in 3 months or something. They don't make promises. They just tell you what might happen. There's always that little disclaimer at the bottom. Results not typical, meaning referring to the testimonial, which may or may not be fake, but they're saying results not typical. I know not everybody reads those things, but if you're vulnerable and naive enough to believe that a bottle of pills is going to melt off your fat, that's on you. You'll notice that the so-called weight loss pills, they usually, I don't know if they all come with a diet and exercise program, but I know that a lot of them do. So if you lose weight on those, it's not the pills that are making you lose weight, it's the diet and exercise program that comes with it. If you want to lose weight, you will actually be spending less money on food. You could take the money that you're saving as a result of that and purchase a small personal training package, because I realize not everybody could afford personal training, and the money that you save each month by eating less is not going to cover personal training, because I used to be a personal trainer and it's pricey. It's just pricey no matter where you get it from. Some gyms charge more than others. Private trainers are especially expensive. So some people do need coaching. Some people do need personal training. They don't know how to work out. They do everything wrong. They don't understand the concept of intense training. They just don't have a clue. And you don't have to buy a ton of training sessions. You could buy 4. And if you have a good trainer, you can learn a heck of a lot. So yeah, you are paying somebody money to help you lose weight. But if you eat less and you buy 4 training sessions, and then a few months, maybe 6 months later, buy another 4 sessions. And then after 12 months, the money that you invested in the personal training in 8 sessions will be a lot less money than the money you would have spent on food had you not went on a diet in the first place to lose weight. It takes a tremendous amount of food and therefore money to buy that food to maintain a morbidly obese body. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's no such thing as a sensible diet that fails. The person fails. Now, let's suppose it's true that 95% of people who try to lose weight fail. They either can't, they either don't. I don't want to say can't. Nobody cannot not lose weight. They either don't lose weight or they lose just a little bit and they kind of stabilize there. So they're like 300 pounds and they get down to 280 and they stay at 280. Or they lose a lot of weight, but then they gain it all back. So in all 3 cases, they failed. They failed, not any diet, because the person who didn't lose any weight at all obviously did not create a caloric deficit. The person who lost only 20 pounds, putting them at 280 instead of 300, created just a very marginal caloric deficit, which plateaued after 20 pounds. And the person who lost a lot of weight and got down to a healthy weight according to their doctor, but then gained it back, they gained it back because they reverted to the lifestyle, the eating habits that caused them to be fat in the first place. 2 plus 2, there is no such thing as a person who loses the excess weight and then gains it back without reverting back to their old eating habits. There's just no such thing. If somebody reverts back to their old eating habits and the weight comes back, they failed. Not the diet, not the personal trainer, not the gym, not the exercise program, not their treadmill, not their barbells. They failed. It's on them. Geez, I hope this makes sense to at least one fat acceptance quitter out there. And if it doesn't, ask the next first grader you come across. They'll explain it to you. Well, that is my video for today. Have an amazing day.